Hi, I'm Heather Victoria and welcome back to my crime and policing channel. In today's session, we are looking at part of the domestic abuse overarching principles and we're looking at coercive control. Now, it's huge, it's horrific. It's huge, it's horrific, and it's happening a lot, okay? If you're watching this video because you feel that you are in danger or somebody you know is in danger, please have a look at the description, look at some of the links in there and seek professional help. I do get a lot of messages on here. I don't always see them. I certainly don't see any in my Gmail inbox anymore because it just got flooded with spam from other places and I can't even get into it anymore. So if you do want to contact me, you can do on Instagram, Hayley with a high kick. But if you need professional support, please contact somebody in the links below, okay? So we are looking at coercive control. As I said, it's huge, it's horrific, and it's happening right now. So coercive control wasn't even recognised as being criminal until 2015. 2015 it came into action. Now, so that's the Serious Crime Act 2015, section 76, which is coercive control. Now, it's a lot of different things can form coercive control, but basically it's where the victims of coercive control are being psychologically and emotionally manipulated and dominated over a period of time, so much so that they lose their self. That's what that means. And you might be sat there thinking, that would never happen to me. I'm far too strong. I'm boss, yes. And it can happen to any gender, by the way. It doesn't matter what your domestic arena looks like. It doesn't matter how you identify. It can happen to anybody. And it can happen to anybody whether you are, if you might see someone think that is the strongest badass in the world, it could be happening to them. It's a very slow moving form of abuse. And it can happen to anybody. So I don't want you to think, oh, it wouldn't happen to me because I'm strong. I'm cool. I'm confident. I'm amazing. It could happen to you. And guess what? You're confident. You're amazing. You are like a steak dinner to somebody who might want to abuse someone, because that's a challenge. That's someone they want to crack. Okay? So just have that in mind. Please don't ever watch these videos and think that the victims of these crimes are anything other than amazing to survive and to get through them, because they are. And if you are a victim of these types of crimes, you've got this, you can get out of this and you can be strong again, okay? So let's have a look at what coercive control is. I've already mentioned it's this strategic, psychological and manipulation, emotional manipulation, domination to make someone they are not anymore. And it gets so bad for the victims. You could be walking around your shopping centre when it's all over and you don't even know what you like to eat anymore. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know how to dress. You look in the mirror and you don't recognise the person looking back at you anymore, because over time, this person is taking a little bit and a little bit and a little bit of you until you are no longer part of you and you're just a little bit of a shadow of what they want you to be. And guess what? After they've taken all the you-ness out of you, they don't want you anymore. And you're left as this empty shell in an empty place, wondering who the hell you are and what happened. And they go to somebody else. Someone else was a bit like you when you first started, and it goes all around over and over again, and it is horrific. So coercive control can come in many different forms. A big one is isolation. So isolating you from your support system, your family and your friends. And again, from the outside, you're just like, oh, that's never going to happen to me. I've got such a strong family bond, such a great unit. Never happened to me, but it does. And it'll start small. It might even be, let's move house. Let's do a fresh start together. We're going to move somewhere lovely, but let's move a little bit out of the way. Let's move out into the sticks. Let's go and have a nice country life. Me and you are going to go and start afresh somewhere nice. You might even go to a different country. You might be like, you know what? Let's go somewhere, how nice would it be for us to go and live in Scotland? So, because I don't live in Scotland, I live in England. How nice would it be for us to go and live in America, to Spain, to somewhere else? With complete fresh start, such an adventure. You're like, yes, this is amazing. Because they give you, when you first get in a relationship with these people, they give you everything you want to hear. They are like green flags a go-go. And I know online, the whole red flag thing is massive, right? Like, oh, you're such a red flag. But you don't see them. You do not see these red flags. It's not like a gala. It's not a parade of the red flags. You do not see them. They don't come here waving a red flag like, check it out. I'm a bad egg. When you get a relationship with this person, you think this is a catch. This person is a catch. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. Guys, gals, theys, thems. This is not a catch you want to keep. You want to throw this back into the sea, okay? They are not a catch, but you do not see that at the time. What you see at the time is this person that makes you feel like you are amazing. You're on this pedestal. You are the luckiest person in the world. You're like, I cannot believe it's taken me this many years to find my dream person. No, it's not a dream, girls and boys and others. It is a nightmare. But you don't see that at the time. And what they're going to do is isolate you. So number one thing that they might do to you is isolate you from your friends, your family, your support, because they want you to be completely dependent on them. They might not even realise they're doing it sometimes, but most of the time they do. So what it might look like, isolation, it could be moving you. So they could actually physically relocate you to somewhere else. You might be in a completely different city, just far enough away from anybody else to actually seek their support. You're isolated. It might not even be physical isolation. It could be in the exact same house you've always been in, but they make it so awkward and uncomfortable for anyone else to come round, people just stop coming. It might be like, say you invite your family and friends round and they sit there like this. Such a mood hoover. They're like, you know what, I don't really want to come round anymore. Like, do you want to go out, H? Do you want to go out, sis? And you're like, well, yeah, I'd love to, but I can't. I promised my partner I'm going to do this, right? And gradually over time, this isolation becomes, you start off being here with your friends and family. It gets like this. And they just think, oh, they're happy in this relationship. Let's give them a little bit of space and let it develop. As time goes on, you don't realise, none of you realise it's happening, but your friendships are here, you are here, and you're getting further and further away. They think you're happy. They might be a bit annoyed. They might think, you know what? They're in a relationship, they've just left me alone. This person's thinking, oh, they don't really care about me anymore. My partner's right. Because their partner's telling them they never cared about you anyway. Why is it always you making the effort? Why is it always you calling them? Why is it always you going round to their house? Why do they never come round here? This person's saying they never make an effort to see me anymore. This person, your partner's telling you they don't want to see you anymore. And this void gets bigger and bigger and bigger. They might even cause problems for you. They might even try and make family issues for you. They might be like, oh, your brother tried to fight me, or your brother said this about you. You know, your sister's always been jealous about you. Like, why are you always doing this? Why are you always doing that? Why are you always picking up this, that and the other? Creating this tension drama. You don't know it's happening until this person's gone. And you're here with this person and, oh, my partner's right. They told me they didn't care about me. I'm all by myself. But I've got him, I've got her, I've got them. They're going to look after me. You're isolated, okay? It might even be things like, oh my goodness, your technology. So yes, now you've got your friends and family have gone. You're in a completely different location, perhaps. But you know what? It's great because you've got your phone. I can talk to my friends and family. I've got a Facebook. I've got this, that and the other. And then your partner will say, let's have a joint account. How much fun would that be? Me and you on our little social media account together. Yay. No. Because now they're monitoring who you talk to. They're monitoring everything. You've no longer got any independence from this person. They could also isolate you from their friends and family. So at one point, you got invited around to their family's house, right, for Christmas and things like that. At one point, you went out with their friends drinking. Maybe you got out in town, you got out for tea or something with their friends. Then eventually, you kind of stop getting invited. And what you don't realise is that person is telling their friends and family, you are bad. Normally, what they'll say is that you're a bit mad. They'll tell them you've got mental health problems or that things aren't going quite right. You know, she's really needy, she's really jealous, she's really insecure. Planting these seeds that you're not quite there. So then when you start questioning things, they go, oh yeah, she's really jealous, she's really insecure. But what you don't realise is this person is telling their friends all this negative stuff about you. They never tell them the nice things that you do. They don't tell them that you look after them, that you make their tea, you tidy up after the bathroom because you're a scrubber. They never tell them all the nice things you do, that maybe you get up in the morning and you make them breakfast every single day. They don't tell them that. They don't tell them all the work you do in the house. They'll probably tell people the house is a mess. They'll probably tell people that they could cook and clean, do all these domestic duties, and that you're lazy, that you're selfish. They'll tell them all these nasty things about you so that when you see their friends and family, they don't want to be around you. So then you feel, you know what? My partner's right. Maybe I'm not a very nice person. And that's the isolation. It happens everywhere. So you're completely isolated now. congrats, that's how they do it. Another thing they can do is monitoring you. And it might start off as being quite cute. It might be, oh, let's share our live locations. So there's an app called Live 360 that I use with my child. So, they're at school, I'm at work, and they want to see where I am, want to see where they are, vice versa. So, if they're at sleep over at a friend's house, and she's like, oh, I'm going to see my friend in such and such area. You're like, cool, I've got Live 360. I know she's all right. All of the parents and stuff, by the way, of Live 360 now, because we want to know where our kids are. So I know it's like back in the 90s, show my age, when I was out and about, hanging around with my friends at the park and things like that. It didn't seem as dangerous. I know it probably was, but it just didn't seem as bad. Whereas now, we're all aware of the dangers, right? And everyone has this Live 360 now. It's like they can see where each other is. It's pretty good. However, these tools can also help abusers monitor your daily movements. I don't mean like medically, I mean like where you are. So it could also do things like have a camera. So we've got cameras on the house, entry and exit points, because it's quite secure. But it could be that your partner monitors your camera, sees who's coming, who's going, when you're coming and when you're going. But then they start asking where you're going. So, oh, you left the house at 12, where did you go? How can you get back until 3? You said you're going to finish work at 1. Where were you for 2 hours? I was out with my friends. Which friends? Let me call your friend and see if you're really there. It comes quite, obviously quite toxic. But then sometimes they can also put cameras elsewhere. So I know someone who was monitored by there was like a camera on their PlayStation. This is showing my age again. Like a bar, that was like a camera on their PlayStation for games they played, and their partner was monitoring them through that. Webcams, so cameras everywhere being monitored. That being monitored through your phone, so you can have that. Like I said, there's apps. You can also look at like Find My iPhone and things like that. Can all be linked up on these family accounts, which are great for safety. However, they're also a great tool for abusers to track and monitor where you're going. They'll also have a look at where you're meant to be, look at your schedules. I just want to make sure you're safe. Do you though? It might even be, so I train, I do kickboxing, I teach kickboxing as well actually. So it might be that I went kickboxing on a Friday evening. I meant to finish at 7, but then I want to stay behind a little bit after and just practice working on like a combo or something like that. Because, quite difficult, aren't they? You want to get a bit more work in. Perhaps one of the teachers says, oh, I'll give you a bit of a hand with this technique. You stay a little bit late to finish off doing what you're doing. Or you get chatting. So where I train, Excel Martial Arts in Sheffield, it's amazing. We have like a really nice community. So often after class, we'll stand there chatting for like 20 minutes, just talking about all sorts of business, whether that's kickboxing or anything. Then you get home a little bit later. But if you're in a relationship like this with a monitoring activity, they'll be like, right, she finishes at 7. She'll be home by 20 past 7. You're not home by 20 past 7. Where were you? You said you'd be home, and you said you finished at 7. Yeah, I was talking to my friends. Which friends? I don't know, I was talking to Anna and Yvette. Right. Yeah. For 20 minutes. Yeah, for 20 minutes. Or I went to get some petrol, put it in the car. Oh, I went to get some petrol on the way home. Could you not get petrol before? Like, they're monitoring every single thing you do. And then you think, oh, you know what, I don't want this drama again. I'm going straight home next time. And then the isolation begins again. So as friends you might have at these places, I can't stay in chat, sorry, I've got to get off. Yeah, monitoring your activities, shocking. So it could be quite invasive, having cameras in bathrooms, bedrooms as well. It can get really bad. And it might just be, like I said, oh, for your safety. It's not for your safety, it's for their control. Okay, remember that. Now, this is quite extreme, but it does happen. So denying your freedom and autonomy. You have to ask permission to go somewhere, or you cannot go somewhere without them. It could be that it gets so bad, and I've seen this before, you're not allowed to go to work, you're not allowed to go to college, you're not allowed to go to school, because they want you with them, or they want you at home. It might even be, you don't need to work, honey. I'll work for both of us. You stay home with the kids. You stay home and look after the house. You don't need to work. You stay here where I know where you are. So they disallow you freedom. So yeah, you don't have to work, but you have to stay exactly where I can see you. And then that other lifeline, that school, that work has gone. You've been isolated. They could even make it so that, another case I saw actually, is where what they will do is they'll make it so you lose your job. So maybe they'll make you late, or they'll make you sloppy performance, or they'll do something even worse. So I know someone who worked for the police. Obviously I worked there a long time. and their partner would consistently phone professional standards, telling them they did stuff wrong when they hadn't, because they wanted them to get in trouble at work and lose their job. What is all that about? Yeah, they'll make it so maybe you're late for work, you'll have rows all night, or they'll purposely lock you in the house. Oh, I locked you in, I'm sorry. I took your keys by accident. Again, so you lose your job. And then you're exactly, again, codependent on that person. It could be restricting your access to transportation. We can't afford 2 cars, let's just get one. I'll just get 1 car. But I need to get to work, I need to get out and do things. It's all right, you can walk or just get the bus. I live in the countryside now, you've moved my house. Yeah, but we only need 1 car, can't afford 2 cars. You can have it the weekends, I'll have it for work. Just, if you need to go to the shops, you can just walk to the shop across the road. You've now got no transportation. You get the bus, but they won't leave you any money. They'll accidentally take your cards to work with them. You're stuck, okay? Stalking your every move when you are out. So if you do go out, they'll either watch you or put you on Live 360 or another app. I'm not trying to slate this app, please do not sue me. It's an amazing app. I use it for my daughter's safety. I'm just giving an example. They might use an app to follow where you're going. They might just use a phone tracker to follow where you're going. They might physically follow where you are going or have somebody else follow where you are going. They might take your phone. They might change all your passwords to get into things. They might even take all of your devices to check or just to take things away from you. So it might be you have your phone taken, they'll check your passwords, they go through all your messages, and it gets so bad that you eventually just give up fighting. It might be you don't have to have a password on your phone. I should be able to trust you. I'd let you look in my phone. They'd never let you look in their phone, by the way. But they'd want you to be able to access everything they want about you whenever they want. And you've no longer got any freedom or autonomy to do whatever you want. You are stuck in this place. And if you go, the reaction is going to be so bad you have to stay where you are. And it might not even be physical. The abuse might be completely psychological or this threatening behaviour that puts you in fear. So, for example, you go out with your friends, you're 20 minutes late, this person starts smashing stuff up in the house and shouting at you. I was so worried about you. I thought you were injured. You know how worried I get about you. Because they'll pick out some random trauma they've made up about their past where they've lost someone they loved. I cannot lose you too. You really worried me. And then you're apologising. I'm sorry I went out with my friends. I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. I'll let you know where I am all the time. Here, I'll share my live location with you all the time. Because they want to know where you are because they're worried about you. They're not worried about you. They're not worried about you at all. They're worried about where you are because they can't control you when they can't see you. Okay, another big thing, gaslighting. Now this term comes from the olden days, so I'm not just talking the 80s when I was born. I'm talking like when they used to use gas lights, like physically you had gas lamps in your house. Electricity wasn't a thing. So you'd have gas lights and the victim would turn the gas lights off before they went to bed and go to bed. The abuser would be like, you left the lights on downstairs. Or vice versa, they'd put the lights off, you said you left them on, and they'd convince you that you'd either left the lights on or you'd blown them out when you shouldn't have done. But you knew you didn't do that. Like, I swear I put all the lamps out. You could have burnt the house down. Honestly, I really thought I'd blown all the lamps off. You didn't. You could have burnt the house down. We'd have lost everything. Our children, our home. How could you? I'm so sorry. I promise I'll never do it again. But you know you didn't. You blew all the lamps out, didn't you? But they're convincing you that you didn't. So you think you've blown all the lamps out at night. They've told you you haven't. And you could have burnt down the house. Everyone could have died. It'd all be your fault. I am so sorry I almost burnt down our house. I'm so sorry to have disappointed you. But you didn't. But what they've done is made you question your memory, made you question your sanity. And the worst thing is you apologise to them for what you've never done. They abused you and you're apologising and they are now the victim. Now, in modern day terms, it could be something simple. It could be like you arranged to make dinner that night or tea where I'm from. And so you're home early, whatever, you get home first. You're like, oh, I'll make tea. What do you want? What should we have? They're like, oh, let's have fajitas. Yes, let's have like a bit of a Mexican food night, Tex-Mex, let's do some, let's have fajitas and things. You're like, yeah, I love fajitas. I'll get all the stuff, I'll make the tea. So you do, you get home, you make a massive effort. You're like, yes, we're having everything. We've got nachos, we've got fajitas. It smells great, you're excited. They come home, ta-da! They're like, What's this? I made fajitas, like you said. Oh no, I said burgers. I was really looking forward to burgers. All I've been thinking about today is I really wanted a burger, and now we've got fajitas. I was really looking forward to that. And you're like, but you said you wanted fajitas. I didn't say I wanted fajitas. I don't even like fajitas. And it gets escalated. It's like, oh, I don't want this to happen. I don't want an argument with them. We're on this cycle. Sometimes it's already happened before. You're like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, you must have said burgers. I'm sorry. I must have just misheard you. I'm so sorry. I thought you said fajitas. I'm sorry. I'll make burgers. I'm like, well, I'm not even hungry now. I'm so sorry. Let me make you a burger. I'm so sorry. You make them a burger. And they said fajitas all along. And now you're questioning your sanity. You're apologising to them because you messed up, even though you didn't. And this is how it works. This is how it happens. And I know you're watching this video. Some people might watch this video and just thinking, that would never happen to me. It could. Okay? Watch the signs. It could happen to you. Okay, that's gaslighting. Name calling and put downs. Oh my God, this gets me so mad. So imagine this person, right? You first met this person. They made you feel like the best person in the world. You're a queen. You're a god. You're a beefcake. Whatever it is that they know that you'd like to hear. You're beautiful. You're handsome. You're fit. I don't know what people say these days. I don't know. What do you say? What does my daughter say? It's so funny. She doesn't say it anymore. She died. She didn't be saying it's a Rizzler. That used to be like a smoking paper when I was a kid. Anyway, you're one of these things, right? They made you feel like you were the dogs, right? But now they'll start putting you down. And it could be something simple. So one thing I hate is being called stupid. Hate it. Because I've got an accent. I'm from Yorkshire. I've got a very strong Yorkshire accent. And for some weird reason, the media always gives dumb people in films a Yorkshire accent. Or some other colloquial accent. They'll always make somebody, if they're a little bit like, if they're trying to make someone look thick, they'll give them a Yorkshire accent. And it sticks, right? And I hate being called stupid. So it'd be something like, you're such a donut, aren't you? Go on, tell me you're a donut. I'm not a donut. You are, you're a silly donut. Tell me you're stupid, you're a donut. I'm not stupid, and I'm not a donut. Why are you being so dramatic? Just say I'm stupid. Because they want you to say things. It's just putting you down, making you feel stupid. So they know what you don't like, they know what you do like. And they'll pick on those things until you're thinking, maybe I'm stupid. Now, these name callings and this bullying is small, it's daft little things. And if you react to it, you're just being dramatic. You just, oh, I hate drama. Why are you being so dramatic? You just called me stupid. I didn't. I called you a silly donut. I'm not stupid. Stop being dramatic. Oh, you have to ruin everything, don't you? You have to ruin everything. And there you go again. Okay? And it might even be something like, so say you've got kind of nutrition issues. Maybe you've always had a little bit of a thing about your body weight or your body image. And if they know that, they'll call you something and they'll think, come on, big bum. I've not got a big bum. Come on, big bum. I've not got, please don't say that. Why are you being dramatic? I love you, big bum. Things like that. It could be, come on, dad bod. But you know your partner maybe is conscious that they've put a little bit of weight on or something like that. Or maybe they don't like that terminology. You know, I'm just saying from the other genders as well. So they'll know what it is you are self-conscious about because you'll have told them, because you're vulnerable, because they were vulnerable with you. And you're a good person. You'd never throw their vulnerabilities at them. But they'll throw all of yours at you. But it won't be like it wouldn't be an obvious thing. It'd be very small and very, very innocent until gradually it's not. Until you are stupid and fat, like they've been telling you for the last 10 years. Or it might even be stuff that you wear. They'll pick on what you wear. Maybe like, some of the kids at work couldn't believe that I was 40. Well, yeah, I'm not surprised you do dress like a child. What? What do you mean? Well, you know, you wear like jeans and a t-shirt, you dress like a teenager. I thought it looked quite nice. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Why are you being so dramatic? It's abuse, guys. Okay, just don't do it. And girls, by the way, that's not me being like gender biased. I just call everyone guys because I'm from Yorkshire. A big one is limiting your access to money. So controlling your access to finances. Whoosh. So say you've got a joint account. A lot of people do, right? When you move a house together. Some people only have a joint account. Some people have two, like a joint and a personal account. Now, when you've got a joint account, that person's got much more control over your spending. But guess what? They'll never control their own spending, just yours. Originally, in the initial stages, it won't be in a way that's quite obvious. It could be, we can't really afford for you to do that, for you to buy that, for you to do these things, because we could save that to go on a holiday. We could save that to do something to the house. However, they will go out with their friends. They will spend money on whatever they want. You cannot, okay? And they'll limit your access to money. It might even be, you're not very good at financial planning. Let me look after it for you. Let's make you a budget. I know what, you've got £10 this week. You might even get something as minimal as £1 a day for food or something at work. But they'll be buying themselves McDonald's breakfast. You've got a pound. Maybe what you could also do, they'll let you earn more money. If you do this job, I'll give you a tenner, you can go out with your mates. First of all, a tenner these days wouldn't even buy you 2 drinks. But yeah, you do this, I'll give you some money to go out with your friends. And you'll be so thankful. Oh my God, he gave me £10. Thank you so much. Yeah, £10 when you earn twice as much as they do. They'll control all of your stuff. They'll prevent you from having any money. They might even hide financial resources. You might get gifts. You'll never know about these gifts, by the way. They'll get gifts from their relatives for you both. Say you've just bought a new house together and their grandparents might give them a couple of grand. You'll never know about that. You'll never know about the financial gifts that you get because they'll keep it. And they'll hide financial resources. But meanwhile, you've got £1 a day, or you're not allowed to go out with your friends because you're saving money because you're bad with money, and we, as a family, want to go on holiday. You don't know they've got all this money. Maybe you'll agree to go on holiday and pay 50-50, right? And then their parents or grandparents will give them some money to help support the cost of the holiday. So their parents have paid for the holiday, you don't know about this. They think you're ungrateful because you haven't said thank you. You give him half the money. So not only have their parents paid for their holiday, you've given them half the money, so they've made a profit. Their family members think that you're rude because you've not said thank you, but you've no idea it ever happened. Further goes the isolation, further the financial control, and yeah, it goes on. It's terrible, guys. Here's a big one. Reinforcing gender roles. So your stereotypical gender roles. If you are, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship you're in. It might be that, let's say it's a heterosexual couple and you are a new parent or you've just been recently married. And just looking at it from traditional gender roles, it could be, let's say it's a female abusing the male. And it could be, well, I shouldn't have to work. You should be providing for me, or you should get a better job. You're worthless. Why don't you earn more money? You should have, I want to be proud of my partner for earning loads of money and having this great job. I want to be proud of you for looking after the family, because you are the man of the house. You should do all of this. And then on the other hand, it could be, you're meant to be someone's wife. You shouldn't go out looking like that. You're meant to be a mother. You shouldn't be out drinking with your friends. That's not what my friends don't think you're a good mother or a good wife because you went out at the weekend. That's not what wives do. And reinforcing these traditional gender roles. It could be anything. It could be any different relationship. It doesn't have to be a heterosexual relationship. There's just an example. It could happen in any, couldn't it? So there you go. That's the type of things. Reinforcing these gender things. You're not very ladylike. You should be more ladylike. I don't want to be ladylike. I want to be a bloody BJJ badass. You should be more ladylike. Why don't you wear more makeup? Why don't you have your hair down? You're so pretty with your hair down. Don't want my hair down. I want a ponytail. Oh, but you're so pretty with your hair down. Everyone says you're so much prettier with your hair down. I'd be so much more prouder to walk around with you with your hair down. You look so much more ladylike. Another big thing, which is horrific and happens, is about your relationship with children. So either turning your kids against you or trying to get in the way of that relationship, making you feel like you're a bad parent. Or they might even compare you to their parents. My parents did this. My parents would never let me do that. My parents would never let that. Just making you feel rubbish. They might even weaponize that child. So they might try and turn him against you. It could be, when I say who's the best, you say daddy's the best. Who's the best? Daddy's the best. Good girl. Who's the best? Daddy's the best. And that can happen a lot. It's horrible. They might belittle you in front of your child as well. They might tell in front of the kids, whether they're biological or not, they might say, how silly is mummy? How silly is your daddy? Have you watched Peppa Pig, by the way? They're awful to Daddy Pig. Look at daddy's big fat belly. He's so silly. You're so fat, daddy. What? How on earth is that okay on TV, by the way? It's not all right. I feel for Daddy Pig, honestly. So those are belittling that parent in front of the children, because that's feeding that negative cycle again. Awful. Okay. Controlling aspects of your body and your health. By the way, I've looked at Helpline. I'll put a link in here for some of this detail as well. Fantastic resource. Have a look at that. So controlling your body, your health. It could be something as simple as your sleep. Controlling your sleep. You might think, how can someone control how I sleep? Oh, they will. They'll wake you up. You might go to sleep. Yeah, everything's great. You go to bed. Just as you're drifting off, you're getting woken up. You've been getting text messages on your phone. Who is it? I don't flipping know. I'm asleep. You open it, it's Google ads. I've no idea. You can no longer sleep. And every time your phone beeps, who's that on your phone? I don't know. I don't know who it is. It's not. Then you look at it again. It's another flipping advert. I don't know what it is. They'll control your sleep. It might even be, so say you've got a big day the next day, like a driving test or something, and they'll make an excuse to keep you up and fight with you and argue with you. So you've had 2 hours sleep, you go to a driving test, you fail. I knew you'd fail. I'm not paying another £64 for you to fail again. Because they've kept you up and they're controlling how you sleep. Controlling your body, how you eat. It's a big one, isn't it? Telling you that, oh, when we got married, you were a size 10. And now you're pushing a 14. I didn't sign up for a size 14. No, I love you just as you are, babe. But you might look all right with half a stone off. We can go on a health kick together if you like. You're like, okay, because I just want you to be healthy. I want you to feel and look beautiful in your clothes. I felt all right till you said that. So controlling what you eat, controlling what you weigh, controlling your sleep, even controlling the time you spend in the bathroom, whether you're on the toilet or just having a shower or having a bath. Why are you in the bath for so long? I just want to go to hide and relax. You're in there half an hour. I was in the bath, just relaxing. What, will I look after the kids in the house? They're your kids too, and yeah, but they'll say you shouldn't be in the bath for half an hour. And you're like, that's lazy. How do I know you're not talking to somebody else? What, in the bath? I'm going to talk to you with a spider? But yeah, this is what they will control your habits. It might even be things like your hair. So say you've got ginger hair like me, and you dyed it blonde for a bit. I dyed my hair blonde for a bit. I had highlights, and you think, oh I've got more highlights in, and now it's more blonde and ginger. I don't really like it. I'm going to go back to my natural colour. You do your hair, your natural colour, you do it all. You think, oh yeah, I feel great. Then you go, look, I've done my hair. And they go, oh, what happened to the blonde? What happened to my blondie? I love the blonde. And you're like, I love my hair. I thought it looked great. Why are you being so dramatic? No, I thought you'd like it. I didn't say I didn't like it. Yeah, but should I dye it blonde? Do you want me to call it blonde? No, it's your hair. Do what you like. Right, okay. So no, you don't even have control of your hair anymore. You can't even dye your hair because that person likes your hair the way it is, the way they want it to be. But they probably didn't. Probably don't give a monkeys what hair you've got. But they'll look at your hair and use that as an excuse to pick apart your self-confidence. You've got no control over any part of your body now, not even my hair. So jealousy is a massive one as well, and that can feed into lots of things. So I know I mentioned isolation and friendships and things like that. You spend more time with your friends than you do with me. You spend so much time with your family. What about putting time to our relationship? Why do you have to go training 3 times a week? We don't really spend time with each other in the evenings. I feel like we're drifting apart. Can you not just do 1 or 2 times a week? So, okay, yeah, I'd love to spend more time together. So you drop down to training 2 times a week. And then all of a sudden they've got lots of plans. Or they then start training somewhere else for 2 or 3 times a week. Or they train every single night. And then you come home to nothing. But you'll get the tea ready. Make sure it's not for heaters. You'll get the tea ready. They go to the gym every single night. They'll come home, spend half an hour with you, and that's it. They might even send you to bed. They might say, oh, it's 9 o'clock. Shouldn't you be in the bath? Oh, okay. They'll structure and regiment your life to fit in with theirs, but you cannot train 3 times a week. You cannot see your friends and family because of the financial impacts, or they'll get jealous. You spend more time there than you do with me. Until eventually, you feel really guilty. You stop spending time on things you enjoy outside of the relationship. You lose part of yourself. You're just losing all of yourself because they want to control you. Do you know the worst thing about it is, once they've done that and stripped you of all these elements of yourself, they don't even want you anymore. And then suddenly, they've just left this shell of a person. And guess what? As soon as you start to bounce back and feel like you again, guess who comes back knocking on the door? They do. I miss you. Can we try again? Bloody hell no, absolutely no chance. Goodbye. This is a sensitive one now, so we're talking about sex. Now, there's two kind of camps here. There's the restriction and limitation of sexual activity, the controlling of that. So someone could completely restrict your access to sex. They might even stop having any intimate contact with you at all, to punish you, because they know that's what you want, that's how you feel close, and they will stop you doing that to punish you, to further control you, and to break your self-esteem, your self-confidence. Maybe you're quite a confident person, maybe you're quite, that's something that you enjoy, and they know that you enjoy doing that, and that you're quite confident, and they'll make you feel like you're not confident anymore. I just can't do it. I'm just not feeling it. Sorry. And then there's the other side, where they will force you to do something, where it will be, if you loved me, you would. If you loved me, you would do this with me, for me, because you love me. You want to be close to them. And if you don't, somebody else will. I'll find somebody else to do it. If you don't want to, somebody else will. So there's different elements of it. And let me tell you, if someone is forcing you or coercing you into doing this sexual activity, that is not okay. It is a crime. Okay? If someone is coercing you into sex, that is not consent. Coercion is not consent. And if somebody is coercing you into having sex with them, that is rape. Okay? And I know it's scary to hear. And if you're listening to this thinking, well, they said that to me. They said if I loved them, I would. And I didn't want to do it, but I did it because I want to make them happy. That is not consent. Or they said that if I didn't, or made me feel like if I didn't, they'd be angry at me. That is not consent. Coercion is not consent. And if you are being coerced into sex with someone, that is rape. And you must, I know it's hard, but you must get some support, okay? Quite a serious one is threats to the family, so children and pets. Or it may be even abusing the pets as well. So threats to children and pets. Maybe they will threaten to call social services on you because you're a bad mum. They'll threaten to call social services on you with them because you've done something they don't like, or you're threatening to leave. Now, normally when you threaten to leave, that's when abusers get really nasty. When they know that they're losing control over you, they get nasty. And that's when they will go for your weaknesses or your vulnerabilities. And if you've got children and pets, it will be them. Because they know that you love them more than anything. You might not love the abuser anymore, but you love those children, you love those pets, and they will go for you. So where you are the weakest. So it might even be that they'll go for full custody of your child or children. They will go for full custody knowing that it would kill you. They don't even want full custody. They're not even that bothered. They've never been a great parent anyway, but they want custody to hurt you, to control you. They might even make violent threats against them. It might be that if I can't have them, if I can't have you, nobody can. That's a serious end of the spectrum. Yeah, trying to take them away from you, making important decisions, changing their names. You do need both parental people to sign that you can change their names, but some people do try it. Threatening your pets or hurting your pets. Threatening, if you leave, I'm taking the dog, I'm taking Cyril, or I'm going to give Cyril away. If you go, I'm going to let him go, I'm going to take that dog away. I'm going to give it away. I'm going to get rid of it. Or I'm going to kill it. And they do. Sometimes they do hurt pets. Sometimes they do call social services. Sometimes they do horribly violent things. If you are in a relationship that makes you feel you or your children or your pets are in danger, please get help. I will put all the details in the comments. So if you do feel like you are in trouble, I'd like you to get help. Okay, so this is the end of this video on coercive control. And my take-home message I would like to give is that it is a crime. Under Section 76 of the Serious Crime Act 2015, coercive control is a crime. Now, you can't charge retrospectively for these crimes. So that means that any crimes that happen before that time, you cannot charge. So you couldn't charge for, say you were in an abusive relationship from 2010 to 2013. That person cannot be charged for the coercive control that happened then, because it was before the act came in place. I know that sucks. I know it really does. But just take away the fact that you are out of that relationship now and that you are safe. So yeah, it is criminal and it is part of the overarching principles of domestic abuse. Now, if you look at some of those things we've talked about as well, stalking, harassment as well, sexual abuse, financial abuse, all of these things are criminal. So it is hard, but there's help out there. And I will put all the links that I can find in the description below. Please reach out to these places. Please get support. They can do it quite sensitively to help you out. But what you should never do is hope that someone's going to change. That if you love them a little bit more, if you put a little bit more effort in, if you do something they want a little bit more, they're going to change, because they're not. If you lose a little bit more of yourself, they'll love you a little bit more, but they won't. Okay? So love yourself a bit more. Love your children a bit more. Love your animals and your friends a bit more. But most of all, yeah, love yourself a little bit more and get help. Okay? That's all from me. So look after yourselves, look after each other, and please don't commit any crimes. Until next time, bye.